First, we will start on MLSunited.com. If you are on this webinar, you're a member of MLS United, obviously, because that's who the emails were sent to. So you just need to make sure you log in to your Connect dashboard, and then that will take you to your Connect dashboard here. You will see a member services section with all the different features offered here. Both of these features can be, opened from right here. And so we're going to get started with Cloud CMA. You will see it right here. If you are MLS only, you might see an option that says for MLS only, I'm not sure, but I think it might just say Cloud CMA. When you click it, it's going to open differently for me because I've already got it started. Now, if you haven't opened it before, a little login thing might pop up and it will ask you to enter your name and your email address. As long as you enter your email address and name that is connected and affiliated with us and what we have on record, it'll be real quick to create an account and you will be good to go. So just to get started with Cloud CMA, some basic navigations here. When you click it, it'll automatically kind of take you to the CMA section, and you'll have options to create new reports. Any previous reports you have will be right here as well. And this is actually a very quick and helpful video as well, which I recommend you watching, but I'll be basically going over what is in the video. Up here you'll also have a couple of different options that I'll briefly go over after. But the first thing we will do is just hop right in and get started on creating a CMA. So when you click to do that, you click Create New Report. And then you'll have a few different options. You can do a CMA, you can do a buyer tour, you can do a property report, and you can do a flyer. We will do the CMA, and I'll go over these other ones as well, but we'll go ahead and click CMA. And to get started with this, it asks for your client name. Because if you're doing a CMA as a realtor, you're probably doing it, let's say, your client wants to, use their address and they kind of want to see what's out there that's similar to their house, just to get a good idea of, realistically what their house could be listed for. Because as realtors, I know you've all had clients that sit there and think that their house is worth, $80,000 more than what it is. So this is always a good way to give them full data reports that look very clean, and it might, help pop them back into reality even. And that's another thing about Cloud CMA, because everyone might know that Flex MLS has a CMA report option. Cloud CMA is similar to it, but in my opinion, and again, my opinion, I think the Cloud CMA ones just look, cleaner, prettier, maybe more presentable, modern. And that's why I really like this service. So to get started, we're just going to do, let's say, name the client. We'll say The Smiths. You can put private notes in there, and these do not appear on the report. These could be for your own benefit. And you can do this a couple of ways. You can use a subject property, and Cloud CMA will automatically pull listings from the MLS service that are similar to it, that are a good comparable property. Or if you have a list of MLS numbers, you can scroll down and enter those. Just be sure you separate them by comma and spaces. For here, we will do a subject property. I'll actually just use my own here. And so you'll start by entering a subject property. Now, when you first type it in, it should automatically pop up if it is a property that has been entered, that's basically on Google Maps is the way I look at it. And we'll do this. So you click that, and you can literally just click Fetch Listings. And the report generation will automatically start for you. And since you named it The Smiths, when you go back to the home page, you'll have The Smiths as a report automatically there. So starting from the top here, because this is where you will organize the listings that it pulls up, you can see anything in green or active, anything in red or sold, and this is a map view of the property. So if you scroll down, You can see we have a summary of the listings. We have 6 active and 4 sold. And let's say that your client's just interested in what's currently active on the markets. So as you can see here, not all of them are selected, but let's say you want all of them selected to be added to the report. You can, include all and then sort right here by a lot of different options. We're going to sort by status. So as you can see, now all the closed are at the top, and we're just going to uncheck all the closed because in your report, you just want to have active listings, let's say. And again, customize this to what you want. That's the cool thing about Cloud CMA and a lot of the other services. You have a lot of customization options. So once you go through here, let's say there's a couple that you're like realistically you don't think was, let's say your client's house is 1,900 square feet and you don't want the one that's 1,600 and you don't want the one that's 2,400. You can exclude those or include those. It's completely up to you. And once everything looks good and you've organized it, you can hit Customize Report at the bottom, or you can also hit Customize Report at the top here. So once you hit Customize, that will take you to the Customize Report page. And this is where you can tidy everything up and pick how you want it to look. And so again, we'll start from the top. It says your CMA report. You can change the theme of it, and by theme literally just means you can change the colors. So like by default, I think it's like blue and black, and let's say you want it, let's say you're an Ole Miss fan, you want some hotty toddy colors, you could do it that way. Personally, I think blue and black just looks super clean, and so we'll keep it there. You can change the layout of how the report looks. You can have 2 photos with map, 2 photos, photo with max data, 2 column. We will just stick with the 2 photo option. Now templates. These is basically how it is, like how many pages that it is. And so by default, I will say 32 pages might be a lot. So like if I was personally running one, I would probably do like a buyer CMA because it's 12 pages that includes a lot of really, really good stuff. If you're an appraiser, you can obviously click the appraiser report because you're just concerned about the data itself, not necessarily photos and all that. So for this one, we will do buyer CMA, but you can, customize that to your liking, whether right there when you click the template, or you can even customize it on this page. So what you're seeing here now that we've picked the template is you can see it has a title page, a contact me page, a map of all listings, summary of comparable properties. All of this seems like something you would probably want. The listings themselves, which includes details and photos, and it says first dozen on one page. And then comparable property statistics. And if there are any of these on here that you feel are not, useful, like for example, sold property analysis, you can actually click on each of these and get a preview of what these are. And as you can see, the sold property analysis has nothing on it. The reason for that is because we, in the previous organization page, we excluded all sold properties, so you're not going to have anything on this page, so there's no point in it being on here. And you notice when you hover, there's a little red minus sign. You can just click that and it will remove that from the report. Additionally, if there's stuff over here on the left that you want added, you can do the same thing except hit a green plus sign. So I don't even know what listing chapter is, but you can click that and now you can see listing chapter is now included on the report. So I think okay, it's literally a chapter like page that shows what's about to happen, and it also puts puts it in particular order. But if you want it like above listings, you could put it right there and just click and drag. And again, to remove, just hit the little red minus, and then voila. Let's say comparable property statistics. So you can have this on there. And again, if you don't want it, you can remove it. Suggested list price, you click on that and it'll tell you what the suggested list price is for the property that you have with all the comparables added. CMAs versus appraisal pages. And this just gives a quick rundown in case your client was curious what a CMA versus an appraisal is. And again, if you don't want that on there and feel it's just too wordy, you can remove it. Now, once you have all the pages added or omitted, you can just hit. You can change the font of this. So if you want, maybe you feel cabin is more, modern. Once everything looks good there, just hit publish report. And then now it will bring you to the CMA's publishing page, and it might take a second to publish, but you can email from this page. You can email it directly. You can copy a PDF link. You can view PDF or view live. We're going to click view PDF, and it will open in a PDF like web page. And then this is what your entire CMA does. And as you can see here, like it has, a cover page with the subject property and then your client's name right here, the date it was ran. It has, your name right here. And then the first page, map of comparable listings, as we saw in the organized pages part, a summary of comparable properties, and then it has, a breakdown of like all the different properties in the CMA. And as you can see, it starts with a 2-pager with details, features, any remarks that are public, and each of those. So, and again, if you don't want any of these, you can omit the listing detail page, and you can customize all types of different things with it. So we're going to actually go back to CMAs. Now, right here with one that's already in here, you can actually, again, this is the home page of Cloud CMA. So when you click on it from, your MLS United dashboard and it takes you here, this is what you'll see. And you can actually hit edit on the bottom right of each report. And you can go through and customize it even once it's published. You'll just have to, click republish basically. So, if you felt like there were too many photos on that, you can remove the photos right here and then just hit publish report, and it will publish the report again for you. And then from there, we're going to hit publish. Okay. And we're actually going to go back home to the home page, and you can see here it doesn't say when you hit publish again, it doesn't do a duplicate or anything like that. It saves it as you go. Now what to do with this once you have it is up to you on that. You can open it as a web PDF, hit download right here if you want to download it to save it as a PDF from this. You can also print it from right here, or you can go to Cloud CMA, hit these little 3 dots here. You can email the report directly to your client from Cloud CMA, and it will include by default a PDF report and a live report. So it says view live. What that does is it basically gives you like a full like if there's any additional listings that might be added to it, and it gives you the most up-to-date data versus the report you published right there was data pulled 3 days ago, versus view live might give you a little bit more up-to-date on comparables and all that. So like you can click on right there, it says comparable homes that are active. Again, there's not going to be any difference between a live view and the one we just did because I created this just a couple of minutes ago, but that is an option if you come back a few days later to look at it. And you can even click view slideshow, and it kind of, I guess, just gives you like a more of a presentable like version. If you're presenting it to a client, you can just hit next like this, and it gives you a slideshow view. So if you want to go, your client comes to your office, you want to give them a whole presentation on it, just to be super professional, you absolutely can do that. But again, it's up to you on how you want to do that. And as y'all can see, we're going to view the PDF again. This is why I do, like if I were an agent and I had the option to use like Flex MLS's CMA, which does essentially everything this just did, just in my opinion, this one just looks a little bit cleaner. You have some really good customization options on it. It fetches the listings, in my opinion, just a little bit, I guess, better than how Flex could do it. But it is completely up to you how much customization you want to do with it. So now that was the CMA. I'm going to open the chat up for any questions you might have. It looks like we have one. Put 12 pictures and then decide you only want 6, for example. How do you delete only a few pictures? Delete all of them. So someone asked, if you have 12 pictures in the initial report, then decide you only want 6, how do you delete a few pictures? Well, let's see. So go to that. We're going to go to customize here. Okay. So that was under listings. Go here. Listing chapter. Photos. Let's see if there's an option to do that. Let's just hit add to report. So she basically asked, is there a way to do 6 instead of 12 photos on a report? Let me see if, I'm not sure if there's a way to distinguish that or not. Let's see. I'm honestly not sure if there's a way to do that. I think by default you can, because the reason for that is because the photos page is cropped and designed specifically to be able to fit 12 photos at a particular size. So it doesn't look like you can change that. Because typically if it's something that can be altered, there's like a little edit button out to the side right here, like for a suggested list price, you can edit that. Let's see. Nope, it looks like it is just the 12 there. So is this the same as the create port feature in RPR? So someone asked if this is the same as create report feature in RPR. I'm not sure on that either. RPR is a separate service from NAR, and if they've incorporated Cloud CMA and RPR, it might be, but I'm honestly not sure. RPR is a completely separate product altogether. I missed how to download. So there's a couple of different ways you can download the report. So if from your home page here, let's see here, what I would do is I would, from your home page, hit view PDF, and then most people by default, it's going to open up as a web PDF, just like so. And every web browser, whether it's Chrome, Safari, Safari might be the only one that might be a little different on where it's located, but every web browser, when you open a web PDF like this, there should be a little down arrow with an underline right under it, and if you click that, it will save, and it will automatically save as a PDF to your computer. Whoops, hit publish again. So while there's not directly a download link like from here, you can always copy the PDF link and to send it to a client, because or you can just view the PDF live and email it directly, because more than likely if you're doing a CMA for yourself, opening it in a web browser will give you a good, breakdown of it anyway. But if you do, again, and if you want to save it, just click the download right there. But there's not an actual just download option directly from this page right here. Thank you. Can you do adjustments in the version? Can you do adjustments in the version? So someone asked, can you do adjustments in the version like Flex MLS? It depends what you're adjusting. So if we go to customize here, anything that allows for adjustments, there will be a edit option right here. So like the suggested list price, for example, you can click edit right there, and you can, use a price range, put any expenses on there that you want, and you can make an adjustment that way. But stuff like details of listings, there's no adjustments to that, but that's simply because those are the actual details of the listing. And what you might be referring to is in Flex MLS's CMA report generation, you have an option where you can minus or add like bedrooms and all that on listings to, I guess, alter, I guess if you see a property in Flex MLS that, you now know it might have closed a year ago, but in the last year, for a fact they've, added an additional bedroom, or they, converted a bonus room to a bedroom. And you want to make that adjustment on your CMA report, because that might alter, your comps. Flex does give that option, versus Cloud CMA does it straight from the data that is already given to it. So anything with an edit option on the right here, you can edit. Anything that doesn't have it, it is the data that it's already generated that you will stick with. So. Any other questions on that? And again, regarding the photo option, while some people may not want 12 on there, there's a very good chance that if you're presenting this data to your client, are you saying Cloud CMA adjust automatically? Cloud CMA pulls whatever data is already out there. So like if, on the details of these listings, there's a house that has, this much acreage, this many baths, you can't make changes to you can't change this to 3. So it pulls the data from the MLS. So what is out there is what the CMA is, what Cloud CMA uses in the reports. So I guess, yes, technically it makes its adjustments automatically. So, are there any more questions on the CMA portion of this? Okay. But yeah, so but what I was saying is, if you're presenting this for data for your client, you can give them the details of it. They could care less, especially if you have 10 plus listings, they may care less if a house has 12 photos on there. They may be perfectly okay with just the first 2 photos of when you click it on there, and they could care less about the additional 12. If you feel they want it, by all means keep it in there. It's up to you. So if there's no more questions on the CMA portion of that, I am going to show you a couple of little other cool things that Cloud CMA offers. If we click, let's go back to the home page here. Again, from the home page itself, if you click create new report, you had those other options here, such as buyer tour or flyers. So you can actually click a buyer tour, and or you can click buyer tour up here. And if you click buyer tour up here, it takes you to the standard buyer tour page. And again, there's a video that says getting started with buyer tours. And this is just basically a rundown report if you have a client, that's, looking for houses, and not necessarily like they're on the buyer side of it. Obviously, it's a buyer tour, and you want to present them with some report, like a nice, pretty report. If you don't want to just send them reports directly from Flex, you can create a whole buyer tour for them. So if you click create buyer tour, we'll say the Smiths again. If you have particular MLS numbers, you can do that because that's what I would recommend doing anyway, because if you're creating a buyer tour, there's a good chance you've picked some MLS numbers already anyway. Let me So I'm going to actually go into Flex, and I'm just going to pull a couple of listings from Flex here. Let's go to new listings. I'm actually going to break it down a little quicker here. We're just going to do city, Hernando. And apologies, I noticed there's like a little like purple line on my screen when I'm sharing it. I don't know why Zoom does that sometimes. It's very weird though. So anything that's 1 acre or more, and I don't want to spend more than this. That's going to break it down real quick. Okay, so I'm just pulling some MLS numbers real quick on these. So just to add to this. So you can see I'm just going to take this listing, I'm going to copy it, paste it with that, and then I'm going to do a space and a comma right there. I'm going to do another one. I'm just going to do 3 for this example, so I don't take forever here. And copy. If anyone's doesn't know the quick computer savvy ways of doing copy and paste, I'm just doing it's Control C to copy something and Control V to paste it. On Windows, it's Command C and Command V to copy and paste on a Mac. So once you have those in there, you can click Fetch Listings. And what it'll do is it'll make you, again, organize, make sure, hey, these are the listings you want in this report. You can hit, customize report. And it's essentially the same steps as when you've created a CMA form, except it's a buyer tour of these properties. So it does actually have, details, photos, school zones, like all this different stuff. If you don't want it in there for your client, you can remove it by clicking the little red X or red minus sign, and then you can hit, I'm actually gonna remove a lot of these so it doesn't take as long to report for me. And as you can see, if there's anything on here you feel would be beneficial for your client to look over, like let's say you drop it off to them and say, hey, look these over and call me tomorrow and see what you want, and you want as much detail in there as possible, by all means do it. But yeah, the buyer tour is essentially the same setup as a CMA, and then you'll hit Publish Report. It'll publish right here. And then I'm just waiting for it to do that. And then after it's published, you can hit View PDF, and then this is what you can send your client. Again, you can email it directly from here, or you can download it to your computer and send it via email. So buyer tour, the Smiths, and then obviously my stuff right here is very basic because I haven't set up my profile within Cloud CMA because I'm not a realtor. But again, this is stuff that you can also change within Cloud CMA. Home buying process, yeah. So it even has the home buying process, like for your clients. And then this right here will show them I added a pending listing apparently and didn't realize it, but yeah. And then it'll show all the listings, and this is all public reports. This isn't anything that a realtor would see, like, so there's no private notes of any sort. And this is what I was talking about with the 12 photos and how it's designed to automatically fit with these aspect ratios in there. It'll give, area, it even gives you area restaurants if you want, like on there, like, it pulls like, high reviewed restaurants. So if they're moving from out of town, they can see, oh yeah, it's close to, Porch and Parlor in Hernando. So, and then it gives you a breakdown of each individual property again, area restaurants, and all that. So this just might be something your client appreciates, because it looks like you went in and did great attention to detail with your report, when in reality you let Cloud CMA do all the work for you. And so it can just create a very impressive, very thorough, buyer tour or even CMA. Um, and then the other thing I want to show you is the flyer option in Cloud CMA. This one's cool because it can create a flyer for an advertisement for a listing you're doing. You can do an open house flyer with this and make it just look really clean. And again, completely up to you. We're gonna, name this. This is an open house for your client, the Smiths. Oh, wait. Okay, so we did MLS numbers. Let's see if I still have that copied. So let's say we want to, do an open house for this one or something right here, or you want to just send out advertisements for it. It says, okay, this is the one you want. You can customize flyer. All right, so right here, as you can see, if your house, if the property you have just listed, you can make a flyer like this to, send out to, people within your company. If you have, an email thing, you can do it that way. Or right here where it says title, if you click on that, you have a few different title options. So for sale, investment opportunity, for rent, for lease, open house, coming soon, which, hey guys, your Mississippi agents, don't use that coming soon option, because that's going to make it to where people call and tell on you, and then we have to be the bad guys. And so just close, new to market. So we'll do, open house. And then voila, here you can do a layout right there. So the layout, you can have the primary photo big, or you can have 4 photos like this on there if you want. You can do 1 big, 2 small, or 1 medium, 2 small. You have a lot of different little options here. Right here, description. This is where you can be as detailed or as not detailed as you want. We did the font. You can change the fonts to these right here. Me personally, I really like Lato, and I like Roboto, whatever you want to call it. Same thing as before. You can change the theme, red and blue. You can even get really, interesting. Throw some green in there if you want. They're not really missing on many colors here. So, you want it like this style, choose theme, right there. Voila. And then once you're done, you can hit publish. It's going to publish. You can view it. And as you can see, it's a 1-page little flyer. You can download to do with as you please. It's completely up to you on this. Now again, and I will also say, yes, this is a convenient way for someone just to make a quick, just simple, clean flyer. However, if you're someone that's familiar with Canva at all, you're obviously going to make a prettier looking flyer in Canva than what this could be. This is just a quick, simple way to make a simple, clean one that is at your disposal. We're doing this. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to show you with Cloud CMA is something that I didn't even know was an option in Cloud CMA when we first got it until later, but it's very, very cool, and it's lead generation. And how it does it is very interesting. It literally just makes it to where you have a link to a URL that you can send out to the public, to a client, and say, hey, what's your home worth? And anyone that puts in their information for to see what their home is worth, they put in their name and email and all that. Well, when it does that, you're sent a report that, hey, such and such did this, and you can now add them to a potential lead for someone that might be interested in selling their home. And while, you don't see lead generation directly from the homepage of Cloud CMA, the way to get to it is you have your little profile box up here on the top right. Click that, and there is an option that says lead generation. And it's as simple as this. It says lead generation. It literally generates a landing page that says what's your home worth. You can either view or copy it. I'm going to show you what it looks like. So when someone copies the link that you send, it literally says, what's your home worth? You enter, your property, their property info. And if it's in like a general mapping system, it should pop up for them. You click that, and then they hit search, and it says we found it. That confirms where it is. Then they just have to put in their first, their name, their email address. Those are the only two things required. But as a realtor, that's all you need to, potentially have a lead on a new client. They put in their phone and the square footage of your home, and then it says email my report. And they were like, yeah, I want to know what my home's worth. And while, they just saw what their home is worth, you also just gained a new lead. And what you can do with this is, copy the link and, post it out to, any prospects you might already have, or post it to Facebook. You can embed it automatically in your website if you want. You can post it to Twitter if you want. I don't know who shares stuff to Pinterest anymore, but hey, there's an option right there. Most people are going to do Facebook. So if you click Facebook, it'll automatically open your Facebook page right there. And as you can see, I'm logged in as MLS United, and then it automatically puts the Cloud CMA link, and it says, want to know what your home is worth? Check it out, whatever you want to put on there, and you can feed it. If it was me personally, I don't like things directly going from a site to Facebook, so I would probably just copy the link, post it in a post, and send it out that way. But it's a very, very cool little feature in Cloud CMA that I thought was pretty clever. Right there. So now we're going to move on to Realist Tax Service now for this last portion of the class. But before we do that, are there any questions on Cloud CMA, buyer tour, flyers, or lead generation? So whenever someone someone asked in the chat, where did the leads show up? Whenever someone fills that out and generates a lead, you'll receive an email that says, hey, you have a new lead, and it will literally have that person's name and all that automatically sent to your email anytime someone generates the report to see what their home is worth. And you can collect the leads that way. Let me see. He asked if the list was maintained within Cloud CMA. Let's see here. Let me go to lead generation. I haven't seen it if it has, but to be fair, I just found out about the lead generation feature very recently. But if there is a way for it to do that, I haven't seen it. So, let's see. Custom pages, account settings. Also, when you go into your account settings, your profile, this is where you can, update, whatever it is right here. You can even, have your company logo right there, contact info. You can add contacts directly in here if you want, change your passwords. This just shows your, credentials right here, custom pages, integrations. So you can also integrate, if you have like a paid transaction zip form account, you can apparently do that. Again, just found that out. And Cloud CMA is one of those, and why I did this little course is because there's surprisingly a lot of agents and users and even brokers that have no idea that this is a feature that they have access to. And one of the things with MLS United is we want to make sure people are aware that, hey, you have these features, utilize them if you feel they'll be beneficial to your business. So just like with anything, whether it's learning Flex MLS, RPR even, I always say the best way to learn it is to get in there and mess around with it, because unless you just straight up email these to somebody, there's no harm in sitting here, create a bunch of different CMA reports, like get in, like, you know, get invested. You might find there's different customizing options that I'm not even aware of. So get in there, play around with it, because the best way to learn something is to simply do it. Because you can sit here and attend a webinar like this, you can attend an in-person class all day long, but I still feel that no matter how much information that an instructor pushes at you, you're not going to be proficient at anything unless you do it yourself. Like, and get in there, you know, get your hands dirty with Cloud CMA and just learn the system. So I recommend all of y'all here get in there, mess around with it, and same with like even Realist, which we're about to go to. Like, get in there, mess around with it. Realist is a little bit more simple. I just again want to make sure people are aware that it's a service that's even offered to people. So before we do move on to Realist, I want to make sure there's no more questions on Cloud CMA.